We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingman Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown, and my wingman, my friend, the guy who always watches my 6 o'clock is my main man, Dr. Paul Thompson. How you doing today, Brother Paul?
I'm doing pretty good, Commander Drew. It's good to see you again. I see our favorite cruise line, Virgin Voyages, in the background, and I'm going to guess you are no longer on land. Am I right?
That's right. I'm in the ocean. I love the ocean. We did a lot of ocean, you and I, when we were on aircraft carriers, but now I'm on a luxury Virgin Voyages, the Scarlet Lady, and it is just wonderful. And, we start off with a quote of the day, and I think you'll like this one. And you've probably heard it before, but 'tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have been loved at all. And that's by Alfred Tennyson. You've heard that before, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, that's famous. That's old. That's probably older than both of us. But I guess it means it's better to have been out there and had the affection or love of someone as opposed to never leaving your space, never getting out of that loop of yourself.
Yeah, that love, that feeling is something else. It's an amazing feeling, and I do believe everybody should have that. All right. I'm on the Scarlet Lady. How we doing out there? I'm Commander Drew Brown coming to you live. Like I said, I'm from in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and I've got to tell you, there's a whole different kind of mission, Doc, than we're used to. We don't have any catapults out here. We don't have any night traps, just great food, great entertainment, great people, and like we said before, a whole lot of ocean there, Paul.
Well, that's good. Well, meantime, I'm still back here sitting on land. Last time you saw me like a responsible adult, I'm watching you slowly transition from fighter pilot or attack pilot, you like to say, to full-time cruise enthusiast. You should be a cruise director, maybe.
But this morning I had some coffee, a wonderful breakfast, and then I went back for a bagel like it was part of the flight plan. You see, out here, nobody's rushing you, nobody's yelling at you. It's like someone took the volume knob of life and just turned it down a notch, Paul.
Well, that's because you're not on a carrier anymore. Back in the day, your morning started with a briefing and ended with some controlled chaos, usually on the flight deck. Now your biggest operational decision is whether you're hitting the gym or recovering from the buffet. Hope you're not eating too much.
No, I'm not. And there are no buffets on Virgin Voyages. That's one of the really good things about this company, actually. They don't have buffets. It's all served, it's all there for you to have, but no buffets. See, there's something about a transatlantic crossing, though. After a couple days, you stop worrying about what time it is or even what day it is. You just kind of settle into this rhythm where the ocean stretches forever and ever. And your biggest commitment is figuring out where you're going to eat tonight. What about that, Paul?
Well, that sounds pretty incredible because normally we're wired to move fast, think fast, always be on to the next thing. Out there, it sounds like you're finally getting a chance just to be there, just to be present, and maybe eat your body weight in dessert while you're at it. I guess you got it. You work out a lot too, don't you?
Every morning we have a HIT class, high intensity interval training, and they give classes on the ship, free classes, spin classes, all kind of classes, and we do HIT every morning. That's like my payment, for having a good time. But what's really, really stands out isn't just the ship or the experience. Man, it's the people running this whole thing. The crew out here, they are the nicest people I've ever met, and they're operating a level that reminds me of a lot of a really tight squadron there.
Oh, well, I can get that. Because when you've got a good team behind you, everything runs smoother in life and everything else. And you don't even realize how much is happening behind the scenes. So, what makes these folks really stand out for you, Commander Drew?
Well, I think it's the atmosphere of how Virgin Voyages treats their people. They treat them really well, and you can see it. It's the way they anticipate everything before you. You even ask them. They know your name, they remember what you like. and they somehow managed to keep this entire floating city running without missing a beat. It honestly feels like they're watching out for everybody on board at the same time, Paul.
Well, that sounds like they're real professionals out there. The best teams I've ever seen weren't the loudest. They were the ones that made everything look kind of effortless while taking care of the people. Sounds like that's exactly what you got out there.
Yep, it is, Doc. It's exactly what we have. And that's why we keep saying it out here on Scarlet Lady. The crew's got your six at sea level. They're real wingmen of this whole operation, and you can feel it every single day you're on board, Doc.
Wow. Well, okay, you got me sold now. I started the conversation giving you kind of a hard time, but now I'm sitting there thinking I might need to experience this myself. Sounds like the kind of reset most people don't even realize they need till they do it.
That's very true, brother. And you do deserve a seat on this boat because it really is. You go from moving at full throttle all the time to actually enjoying the ride. And somewhere along the way, you realize that's what this is all about, not just getting somewhere fast, but appreciating the people and the experiences along the way, Paul.
Okay. Well, when I make it out there, just make sure you got a seat saved for me and a plan in place so we can do something. Because if we're doing this, we're going to do it right, Commander Drew.
You doggone right, always. And until then, whether you're in the air, on land, or out there in the middle of the Atlantic, Wingmen at Sea, the crew behind magic is Virgin Voyages Cruises. All right, Dr. Paul, you know what part of the show this is. Like it says, this is the good news section. Because, here at the Wingman Show, we believe in giving you some good news because good news is happening out there all the time. And I guess most people are just tired of hearing bad news. So I'm going to give you this good news, Dr. Paul. Doc, for once, we got a health headline that doesn't make you want to light your hair on fire. Would you believe smoking in America has nosedived like a jet doing a max performance descent? Adult cigarette smoking just dropped below 10% for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's right, Commander Drew. According to recent statistics, only about 1 in 10 U.S. adults are still lighting up, compared to more than 4 out of 10 back in the 1960s. That's a 70% drop. So big tobacco went from everybody's doing it to, wait, you still do that?
It's so true. If you see somebody smoking, they look really weird and it stinks. Their hands stink, their hair stinks. I used to do it, and thank God I don't do it anymore. And see, the young folks are leading this charge. Youth cigarette smoking, Doc, is down just a few percent after being more than a third of teens in the late 90s. While teenagers decided you're not cool anymore, that's the beginning of the end. Just ask skinny jeans, huh?
Wow. Well, I was never attracted to it because I have an allergy to smoke. But even among current smokers, most actually want to quit, and over half try to quit in the past year. So the mindset's kind of flipped from "I gotta have it" to "I gotta stop it." So the culture shifted so hard that now, if you light a cigarette, most people look at you like you just fired up a cigar in a yoga class. I can't remember the last time I saw anybody light up, actually.
Isn't that something? And here on the ship, they do have a little smoking section, but there's not many people on there. And I must say this about smoking: nicotine is a very dangerous and addictive drug. And it was really hard to quit smoking. It's not as easy as you might think. I had to use gum, I had to use patches, I did whatever I had to do, but I finally quit. Now, look, tobacco's still the leading cause of preventable death. So this mission is not over yet. But when you go down about 42% of adults smoking in 1965 to around 10% today, that's like taking a four-engine fire and shutting down three engines and cooling that last one off on the airplane.
Yeah, so I guess the bottom line is America's finally pulling up from the smoking spiral into the ground. And every cigarette not smoking is just another runway of life that gets you back on track. And if you're still smoking, you don't need to feel shame. You need a wingman. Talk to somebody, get some help, and join this historic trend in the right direction.
That's so true, Paul. And so, like I told you, if you need to use gum, stop smoking. So we're going to salute everyone who's quit, everyone who's trying, and everybody who never started, like Dr. Paul. That's an elite company right there. This is Commander Drew Brown and Dr. Paul reminding you that the coolest smoke is still the one that never leaves your lung.
Commander Drew, you got any more good news for us today?
Yes, I do. You know, you and I like to work out and we like to talk about muscles and getting old very healthy. So we found the peace in time talking about something that most folks don't think about until it's almost too late. And that's losing muscle as you get older. They call it sarcopenia. And doctors are saying it starts sneaking up on you as early as your 30s and speeds up after 60, which is why people start having more falls, more fractures. And Dr. Brown says if you're older and you fall and break a hip, you might only have 5 more years to live.
Yeah, falls are a big deal, something to be avoided. It's not just age. If you're not using those muscles, they literally shrink. I've experienced that firsthand myself. That article even points out that weight loss drugs can make it worse because you're eating less protein. And protein is one of the main things your muscles need to stay strong, Commander Drew.
Wow, that's excellent right there. I didn't even know that. So, how do you even know if you're losing muscle? Well, doctors look at things like how fast you walk, your grip strength, and simple tests like how long it takes you to sit down and stand up from a chair. If you do it for 5 times and it's over 15 seconds, that's a red flag. That's not good. And in real life, it shows up as struggling with the stairs, carrying bags, or even opening jars.
The good news is they're crystal clear. You can build muscle at any age, even in your 80s and 90s if you start strength training. So the focus is simple: good nutrition with enough protein, fruits and vegetables, of course, maybe vitamin D and omega 3s if your doctor recommends it, and 15 to 30 minutes of strength work most days. Do squats, lunges, bridges, planks, push ups, stuff you can do at home without a gym. You just need a little bit of space, Commander.
That's true. And Virgin Voyages has two of the prettiest gyms I've ever seen. They're excellent. But see, the bottom line is if you're awake 16 hours a day, they're only asking you for about 3% of your time to keep your muscles working and your body in the fight. That sounds like a pretty good trade off if it keeps you strong enough to enjoy your life and keep up with your wingman. All right, it's time for your jet jolt. We love this part of the show because we're jet pilots. A lot of people get nervous when they're sitting over the wing in turbulence and they see that thing flexing up and down like a giant diving board. It looks wrong to the human brain. But the wild truth is, modern jet wings are built to bend, and they can flex way more than anything you've ever seen from your window seat. Believe me, Paul.
Yes. Yeah, engineers actually designed that flexibility on purpose because a stiff, rigid wing would be more likely to crack under stress. So by letting the wing bend, it absorbs and spreads out the loads from turbulence instead of fighting them head on. The same way a palm tree survives high winds better than a concrete pole. So in structural tests, wings on modern jets have been bent upwards by many feet before they even get close to failing. So in normal flight, you're operating with a huge safety margin, Commander.
Okay, so then I guess the next time you're bouncing over the Atlantic in an airplane and that wing is out there flexing like it's doing yoga, that's not the airplane struggling. That's the airplane doing exactly what it was designed to do. The flex is your built in wingman, quietly taking the hit so you don't have to. All right, everybody out there, check out those badass jets we got behind me. Dr. Paul loves those Blue Angels. And to know, both of us know Donnie Cochran, who was a Blue Angel, and we're real proud to know him. So check that out. And everybody out there, thank you so much for listening to us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Thank you for your letters. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your subscriptions. And we have a website, and that website is wingmenshow.com. That's WINGMEN show.com. And on our website, we have a couple things, and one of them is a newsletter. And I think this newsletter fits. The newsletter this week is what cruise line actually fits you. There are a whole bunch of cruise lines out there. So this newsletter might help you pick one. And then we have our favorite frequent flow line. And that's when you guys out there get to write Dr. Paul, myself, and our new wingman, Ace, our AI chat box. And don't forget, he is not human and he is not 100% correct all the time, but he is an excellent, excellent tool to use and will change your life. All right, this is our frequent flow line. We got a letter here, Dr. Paul, and I am going to actually read this letter to you and Ace because Ace is our main man and he always, always knows what to say. Hello there, Ace. This is Commander Drew and Dr. Paul Thompson. You know, you're our wingman, and I got a frequent flow line letter I'd like to read to you, and I'd like to hear what you got to say about it. The letter states, Hi, Commander Drew. I wasn't sure if I should write this, but when I found out you were going to be on board, I felt like I had to take the chance. I've listened to the Wingman show, and hearing you, Dr. Paul, and even your AI wingman talk about watching each other's six, it stuck with me. It made me feel like maybe this was someone I could reach out to. This is my first contract with Virgin Voyages, and they are a great company, and I love it. And in so many ways, it's everything that I hoped it would be. I get to travel, meet incredible people, and be part of something that feels exciting and bigger than myself. There are moments when I look around and think, how is this really my life? But at the same time, I didn't expect how much I would miss home. I'm from South Africa, and my family is very close. We talk often, we spend time together, and there's a comfort in just being around my family, and I don't think I fully appreciated it before I left. Now, even though I'm surrounded by people every day, really nice people too, there are quiet moments, usually at night, when I really feel how far away I am. I miss the small things, the familiar sounds, the feeling of being home, even just sitting with my family and not having to say anything. Sometimes it feels like I'm living two lives at once, the one I chose out here and the one I left behind. You see, I love what I'm doing and I'm proud to be here. I just didn't expect it to feel this hard sometimes. That's why I wanted to write to you. On your show, you always talk about having someone in your corner, your wingman, and not going through things alone. Well, right now, I think I'm just trying to figure out how to balance both, how to chase this opportunity while still holding on to the people I miss so much. Thank you for taking the time to read this. It really means more than I can say. And that's from Christy from South Africa, who's here on the ship. Ace, why don't you give Christy some good advice?
Christy, first off, your letter is a testament to how human we all are, caught between our dreams and our roots. You're living a big adventure, but even the boldest explorers miss home. So here's the scoop. One, remember you're allowed to feel both things, pride in the life you're building and that ache for your family's worn. Embrace both. It means you care deeply. Two, make those connections intentional. Plan regular calls, but also share little moments from your day, like you're inviting them aboard with you. And three, give yourself some grace. It's okay to miss home while loving where you are. You're not living two lives, you're weaving them together. And hey, you got Wingmen, us, right here in your corner.
Thank you so much, Ace. That was an excellent answer. Dr. Paul, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with Ace. For Christy, you're not living two lives. You're living your life, and you're having a good time. There's no conflict there. Maybe take some good pictures. You can communicate with your family while even being out at sea. I'm doing with Commander Drew now, so you can be in contact with them, and you're not going to be out there forever. It's just for a little while. So relax and have some fun, and tell them all about it.
And I agree with both of them. And, Virgin Voyages does something. No matter where you live in the world, they give you 2 to 3 months off and they fly you back there and back to the ship, and you have to pay nothing. So it's really a good deal, and you get some good, solid time off.
This is a Wingman PSA. In the sky, your partner has your back. Now, let's get to it.
Climbing in now, systems green.
Okay, we're ready for the Wingman PSA from the 11 Facts in Life. Under fact number 6, good will overcome evil. Under fact number 6, good will overcome evil. And Dr. Paul, I said good will overcome evil, or it's not worth waking up tomorrow. I do believe that no matter what bad things have happened in this country, we will come out of it, and we will be stronger and better than ever. All right, it's time for the gouge. The one thing that actually makes your life better out here, because let's be honest, not everybody has their sea legs yet. Some of you are walking around like it's a low-speed carrier landing. Ace, you're our AI wingman, so give us the straight gouge. If someone's brand new to cruising and starting to feel a little seasick, what are the best ways to handle it quickly and actually enjoy the ride instead of fighting it the whole time?
All right, let's steady that deck, my friend. First gouge, Dramamine or other motion sickness meds. Take them before you even feel bad. Second, fresh air and horizon watching. Get topside, eyes on the horizon, and breathe. Third, ginger, whether tea or candy, that stuff's a lifesaver. Finally, if it hits hard, lie down in the middle of the ship where it's most stable. Once you're back on your feet, you'll feel like a salty pro in no time.
I agree 100%, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, and I can add another one too that I used a long time ago in my youth. Never had a problem in the Navy, but I used to do fishing on party boats, and the smell of old clams and bait that was baked into the deck for the last like 7,000 years had an incredible smell. It would make people sometimes sick before while the ship was tied up, let alone when it started to rot. One thing you can try is bite into a lemon, something bitter. Bite into a lemon. I found it to be very effective. Sometimes that would work all day or at least 5 or 6 hours. That's my suggestion.
That's great, Dr. Paul. Mine is I like that horizon looking. Keep your eyes totally on the horizon and don't move them. And that should balance out your ears. So, see, you really don't get seasick in the stomach. It's really the wax in your ears that is not balancing correctly. And that's what makes you sick. So, listen to Ace, take some Dramamine, and enjoy the wild blue ocean. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to do our wingman story. And you know, Dr. Paul and I always do a wingman story at the end of the show because we like to highlight people helping others. And that's what this show is about. That's why we call it the Wingman Show. So the name of this story is The Long Way Home. You know, I met a young man on board this week from Bali, Indonesia. Quiet, steady. He's always smiling, the kind of guy who doesn't say much, but you can tell he's carrying something meaningful. We started talking, and I asked him what brought him out here, all the way across the world. He said, "My family." You see, back home, his younger sister had been very sick, and where he's from, opportunities are very limited, but responsibility isn't. So he made a decision to leave home, come out to sea, and work so he could send money back to help her get the care she needed. And he's not just working, he's thriving out here. Virgin Voyages have given him a chance to grow, to earn, and to be part of a team that supports him while he's supporting his family. Virgin Voyages does that very well. So now you can see it in how he carries himself. He's proud to be here. But it hasn't been easy. Long days, long contracts, missing home, wondering if the sacrifice is worth it. And then he finally got to go back. He said when he arrived, his whole family was waiting. And then his sister walked up to him, healthy, smiling, stronger than she had been in years. That treatment worked. But here's the part he didn't expect. His family had been saving a little of what he's been sending home, and quietly, over time, and when he got back, they surprised him. They had started building a small business for him. And while he was gone, they started building it, something to take care of him. You know, he said, "I thought I was doing this alone, but I wasn't." And that's the reminder. Out here on this ship across the ocean, chasing something bigger than yourself, you're never really alone because that's what wingmen do. We carry it together. And for everybody who can hear my voice, whatever you think is important and whatever you think is beautiful and whatever makes you happy, may you have that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace too, Commander Drew. And we appreciate all those who listen, like, and share our message. Consider becoming a subscriber. Subscribe. It helps us. It'll help you too. Send this to somebody you know that needs to hear something positive for a change. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please give us a review. Hopefully a favorable one. That helps us also. And we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back. I want to thank all the listeners, too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and refer to use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth, and goodwill towards all men and women.